The following podcast contains mature subject matter, adult themes, and may also contain profanity. You have been warned.
Hi everyone, hello, welcome back to our show, The Absurd.
Sorry, I don't know why that was funny.
That's Mel. See if she's going, Mel.
Mel.
Hi Mel.
Hi. How are you, Rod?
I'm alright.
Yeah?
Bit warm in here.
It's toasty.
Because we have to have the air conditioning off and the fan, otherwise the mic will pick it up. Mike's will
Mike's
pick it up.
Yeah, I know.
And it is rather ghastly in the humidity out.
It's so hot.
I hate humidity.
Sweating my pitties off.
Gross. How will you, what happens to your arms then?
Pitties.
They just fall
My
off?
pits and titties.
Oh,
So it's pitties.
wow. TMI, anyone? Jeez. So, we did not, in fact, record this episode a day or two before its release, as we normally do. This is being recorded a week before, right after our previous episode. Would you like to tell the boys and girls, Mel, why that is?
Because I am going on a girls' trip. So I
Where are you
will
going?
not be here. We are going to be out in the Grand Bend area.
Oh, yes.
Zurich, to be exact. And we have a cottage on the water.
Yeah.
It's going to be glorious.
Are you going to the Bean Festival? Because Zurich has a really good
Bean
Festival.
Festival? No.
I think it's
can't
later
say
in
we
the
are.
summer, but you might want to check it out.
No.
Get advance tickets.
No, I don't plan on doing much, actually. We're just
Really?
going to chill and drink and eat and
Pillow fight.
pillow fight. 100% pillow fight.
Really? Yeah. Sweet.
Yeah.
Because all guys know that that's actually what women get up to at their so-called girls' week.
Totally.
Pillow fights.
Tickle fights.
Oh. Lots of Jello.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Baby oil.
Okay, enough. Yeah.
But yeah, no, it'll be good. I'm
nice.
really looking forward to just kind of getting away for 4 days, 4 nights, 5
Is that
days.
what it is? I'm back on
Yeah.
Friday.
Back on Friday.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Looking forward to it.
Obviously, we ended last week's episode saying we're going to go to Piper's to see Mel's boyfriend, but we haven't done that yet because here's another
I
episode.
haven't actually left yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, just sweating.
No real news, but do you remember the story you did in Japan about the robot wolf
Yeah.
that was designed to scare away bears? Because there's been a number of pretty tragic contacts between bears and humans
Yeah.
in Japan. Well, I just read a news article that they're looking for another bear that attacked 4 people.
Oh, shoot. Like in Japan, you mean?
Yeah. No, over by Grand Bend, in Zurich to be exact.
He's coming for me.
Yes, in Japan. And I don't know, the
good
bears are really I don't know, man. Are they hopped up on ramen? I don't know what their deal is, but they've got some serious edge.
I love ramen.
Um,
Anyway, sorry.
no, it's okay. But I just thought I'd throw that out there. I never really thought until a couple of years ago when I started reading about these bear encounters that there even had bears in Japan.
I had no idea.
But the North Island, like Hokkaido, it's pretty Arctic-y. Not Arctic-y, but it's we would fit right in our winter. So, yeah, they're a black bear, I believe. But, yeah, there's been a great number of attacks. So, yeah, I just thought I'd put that out there.
That's a good story.
It is a good story. I like bears. Speaking of stories,
Yeah.
do you have a story?
I thought you were going to say, speaking of bears.
What about them?
I don't know.
I got
You're
nothing.
going to make some kind of joke about me being a bear?
No,
All right.
not yet.
Not yet? Okay. You ready? Can I do this now?
I'm waiting impatiently.
Okay. Because I'm hot.
Quick like a bunny.
All right. Ricky Magee was driving through the Australian
Ricky
Outback.
Magee.
It is Magee.
Na, 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 Janis Joplin. Hey, 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 Ricky Magee. Sorry, go on.
Anywho, he was driving through the Australian outback to start a new job.
Cool.
Maybe even a new life.
Oh.
When he stopped to pick up a hitchhiker on the side of the road.
Bad move.
But the 35-year-old's charitable act turned into a hellish ordeal.
Oh, no.
When Mr. Magee wasn't that like a cartoon?
That was Mr. Magoo.
Mr. Magoo, that's what it is. When Mr. Magee was drugged and left for dead in one of the world's most inhospitable climates, a mystery that remains one of Australia's weirdest and most controversial unsolved cases. In 2006, a group of young jackaroos, or cattle farm hands, in Australia's outback made a shocking discovery. A gaunt and emaciated man wandering alone in the... Oh, I thought you were stopping me.
No.
Wandering alone in the isolated desert. Mark Clifford, the head of the farm, later called the figure a walking skeleton.
Jeez.
This was Ricky Magee, who 10 weeks earlier had disappeared off the face of the earth while traveling from Brisbane to start a new job. Mr. Magee had a difficult past. His father killed himself when he was still a child, and he had been sent to jail a few times in the years since for street fighting and drug use. Street fighter. A habitual drifter, Magee hoped Port Hedland would be a fresh start. But to get there, he would first have to traverse 3,000 kilometers of dangerous outback. This included the Tahani Desert, described as one of the most isolated places in Australia. Mr. Magee set out on an epic journey in his trusty 2001 Mitsubishi Challenger, a drive that would take him 2 to 3 days overall. Along the way, though, something went wrong. Mr. Magee himself has never been certain of the chain of events. At first, he said his car had broken down. Then he told people that he had picked up an Aboriginal hitchhiker who spiked his drink, leaving him disoriented and alone. Mr. Magee changed his story again in his 2010 autobiography, which was co-written by writer and film director Greg McLean. Mr. Magee claims he spotted 3 men on the roadside who had run out of gas and offered to give them a lift. On the way, the hitchhiker either spiked Magee's drink or stabbed him with a drug-filled syringe, leaving him dazed and confused. That's a great movie.
Great tune, too.
When Mr. Magee came to, he found himself in his assailants' camp. They were armed and took Mr. Magee's shoes, but still fed him water and left his cash alone. Eventually, they disappeared, leaving Mr. Magee in a makeshift grave and covered in a black tarp.
Jeez.
Mr. Magee claims he woke up to 4 dingoes clawing at his body, hoping for an easy meal. But regardless of which series of events was true, the outcome remained the same. Mr. Magee was stranded hopelessly in the desert for 71 days.
Damn.
With no idea of where he was. He walked for 10 days in an excruciating heat that regularly exceeded 40 degrees Celsius, fainting from heat exhaustion multiple times. In his autobiography, he said, "It was hard, desolate country for a man all alone in bare feet. Nevertheless, I started to walk and walk. The more I walked, I figured the less distance I'd have to travel to get found. It was a faulty logic, but it was the best I could come up with." To survive, Mr. Magee ate snakes, ants, lizards, frogs, and grasshoppers, scavenging in the evening when the heat was less extreme. He was also able to find small dams and water holes where he could drink water and poach for leeches, gross, which became another source of food. He would eat them raw. When water was unavailable, he drank his own urine or tried to gather up the morning dew. He mostly ate the small animals he hunted uncooked, but would fry the frogs when caught by impaling them on a wire and leaving them to sun-dry. He said he would like to get them a little bit crispy before eating them up.
Can't fault him for that one.
Yes.
Yeah.
He also built makeshift shelters to avoid the scorching heat in the day and the frigid cold at night. At first, he used branches, then found a windmill that made a humpy. That's a form of a shelter used by Aboriginal people from an abandoned cattle trough. At one point, Mr. Magee suffered an abscess in his tooth, a condition which would quickly have become fatal given his weak physical state. But refusing to let himself die, he dug the infected tooth out from his mouth using his car keys.
Jesus.
When Mr. Magee was eventually found, the 6'2" man weighed just 99 pounds. Before he left, he had weighed 230.
Holy.
He was quickly flown to the Royal Darwin Hospital in the Northern Territory, where medical staff described him as emaciated, but surprisingly well hydrated. Mr. Magee's car was never recovered. His captors never found. He would be discharged from the hospital just 6 days later. But as news of Mr. Magee's story spread, questions started to emerge. The Sydney Herald speculated the tale had been fabricated and said there were some doubts as to its validity, reporting Mr. Magee was trying to sell his story to a commercial television station. ABC Radio later stated he had given his story free of charge after unsuccessfully asking them to match, and 11,000 pounds is what? I don't know.
11,000 pounds? Yeah, British, maybe 20 grand Canadian.
Yeah, so 20 grand after he claimed he had gotten from another unnamed group. The police also reportedly had doubts about the story because of Magee's previous minor drug convictions, but dismissed suggestions of criminal wrongdoing on his part. The hospital staff were similarly uncertain, with the doctor who treated him saying it was very difficult to either deny or validate his story due to the unexpected speed of his recovery. Yet Mr. Magee stood by his story and credited his survival to his desire to see his friends and family again. He said, "People need to understand what I've been through. To have survived out there for so long and then be told I had made it up makes me sick."
Yeah.
He further added, "Before I was a bit biased about life, but now I cherish it every day." So, if you ever get stuck out in the Outback, you can eat some raw snakes and that'd be all right too.
Imagine eating raw leeches.
Nope. No.
Well, I mean,
you do what you gotta do,
this
but
is it.
gross.
You know? I mean, then again, though, maybe they're delicious. Like,
maybe.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you never know.
Like, look at a chicken. If you just saw a chicken for the first time, say, you're going to eat that, you'd be like hell I am. Mm-hmm. You know?
Yeah.
But
he was determined to live, so.
Well, that's basic instinct.
Yeah.
Not that basic instinct.
Right, yeah. No,
which
different.
I've never seen.
Different.
I've never seen.
No?
Why?
Why not?
Is it actually any good, or is it all just, vag view? Well, it's the only thing I know about the movie. Like,
I don't know. I liked it, but
I'm not saying it's not good. I just, whatever.
That's where my mind goes. But anyway,
I'm not touching that line.
No. Anywho, what you got?
That's good. Well, you're gonna love it because it's a long story.
Oh no.
Yeah, but it's
really?
good. This is good. This is not sad.
Okay.
This is grounds for great optimism.
Okay.
I mean it.
Okay.
You listen to me now.
I'm gonna.
But I'm gonna preface this with a question. You do not have to answer it.
Okay.
Have you ever in your life experienced mushrooms? That is to say, magic mushrooms.
No.
Okay. I have.
Yeah.
I still occasionally microdose them. They're fantastic for that.
Okay.
There is no... there probably is a toxic level of them, but it's such a ridiculous amount that you probably couldn't even ingest it. Mm-hmm. Having said that, there are levels at where you might really hate it. Mm-hmm. All right, and could experience a psychotic episode.
Sure.
But this is not about either of these things. A newly published case report in Frontiers in Neuroscience describes a remarkable and unexpected response in an 80-year-old woman with advanced Alzheimer's disease following a single high-dose psilocybin intervention. Psilocybin is the active ingredient in mushrooms.
Right.
The patient received 5 grams of Enigma strain mushrooms. Now, you say you've never had them. If you decide that you want to, do not start with 5 grams.
Okay.
I
Noted.
beg you, do not. You will not like it.
Okay.
So they gave her a 5-gram dose.
Okay.
Super advanced Alzheimer's.
Okay, yeah.
Approximately 19 hours later, the patient spontaneously awakened and began speaking for hours, engaging in autobiographical conversation and recalling memories that had not been expressed in years. That was not supposed to be possible. Advanced Alzheimer's is generally regarded as a phase of irreversible functional decline, marked by loss of autonomy, communication, continence, mobility, and social interaction. And yet she spoke, told stories, and cracked jokes. The authors caution that the findings should not be overinterpreted, but they raise genuinely novel questions about the nature of late-stage neurodegeneration. The patient had lived with Alzheimer's disease for approximately 10 years and experienced severe functional decline over the preceding 5 years. According to the report, she had become largely monosyllabic. You know what I mean?
No.
One-syllable words.
Okay.
Demonstrated profound cognitive impairment, chronic urinary incontinence, impaired mobility, dysphagia, executive dysfunction, and severe reduction in spontaneous communication and emotional engagement. She could not hold a gaze. She could not dress herself. She could not walk without help. Her family, by the time of the case report, had long since accepted that the woman they remembered was no longer reachable. That is the brutal reality of late-stage Alzheimer's. There is no dramatic moment of hope in the medical literature for patients at this stage. There are no approved drugs that restore speech or continence once someone has declined this far. What happened next, then, was not supposed to fit into any existing framework. The acute phase of the first session was marked by autonomic activation, clinically suspected hypothermia, profuse sweating, and a prolonged sleep-like state. So that's when they gave her the mushrooms. It was not a gentle experience. During the initial phase, she was agitated, sweated profusely, and entered a prolonged sleep state that suggested unconsciousness. Then, at around the 19-hour mark, something shifted. She began to speak spontaneously in an autobiographical manner, so talking about herself.
Yeah.
She recalled life events. Over the following days, her families reported meaningful improvements across multiple domains. Over subsequent days and weeks, she regained urinary continence, improved ambulation, so in other words, was get up and walk around. Dressed herself independently, showed increased emotional responsiveness, and engaged socially. At a 1-month follow-up, the patient remained continent and reported a positive emotional experience, telling those around her, quote, "It is pleasant to come here." This is after just the one dose. Like
That's
a month
crazy.
later. This is not ongoing.
Yeah.
A woman who had been reduced to single syllable said those words. A subsequent 3 doses of psilocybin was given to the patient 1 month later and was followed by increased verbal expression, humor, and greater walking ability. The humor detail in particular is striking. Humor is a complex cognitive act. It requires working memory, social awareness, timing, and the ability to hold an idea in mind and subvert it. She was doing that. To understand why any of this might be possible, you have to understand what psilocybin does at the neurological level. Psilocybin is known for its mechanism in promoting neuroplasticity, anti-inflammation, and improving functional connectivity of brain networks in the treatment of depression and other diseases. At the cellular level, psilocybin promotes neurogenesis by rescuing the reduction in certain cell types caused by stress in the hippocampus. The hippocampus is the brain's memory hub, and it is also one of the first regions Alzheimer's destroys. Psilocybin activates the 5-HT2O receptor and produces hallucinogenic effects while also promoting cortical neuron growth, activating neuronal survival mechanisms, increasing neuroplasticity and neurogenesis, and modulating the immune system. That is a lot of simultaneous biological activity for one compound. Recent studies demonstrate marked recognition of large-scale brain networks following psilocybin administration, including increased global integration, cortical desynchronization, and transient desegregation of canonical cortical systems.
Goodness, easy for you to say.
Think of it like this. Alzheimer's progressively locks part of the brain's network into rigid, dysfunctional patterns. Psilocybin appears to shake those networks loose, even temporarily. A 2025 study published in Cell and highlighted in Nature Reviews Neuroscience showed that a single dose of psilocybin triggers an activity-dependent rewiring of large-scale cortical networks. The implication for Alzheimer's is significant. If advanced Alzheimer's is typically understood as the silence and dependency of the late stage being a direct readout of dead tissue, and if a single dose can restore speech incontinence for weeks, then some of what looks like irreversible decline may be a network problem rather than a tissue problem. That distinction matters enormously. Dead neurons cannot be recovered, but dysfunctional networks, even in a damaged brain, might respond to the right kind of disruption. The selected mushroom dose was relatively high compared with dosing approaches commonly used in modern clinical trials, and was chosen based on prior experiential observations regarding depth and duration of psychedelic-induced neurobehavioral effects. 5 grams of dried mushrooms is what psychedelic culture often calls a heroic dose. Yeah, so you don't want to do a heroic dose.
No.
That phase was coined by ethnobotanist Terence McKenna, and it is not hyperbole. In a recreational context, this level of psilocybin typically produces profound, destabilizing alterations in consciousness, a complete dissolution of the sense of self, vivid visual phenomenon, and intense emotional experiences. In an 80-year-old woman with advanced dementia and fragile physiology, it was an enormous risk. No established psilocybin dosing framework currently exists for advancing dementia. The Enigma strain specifically is notable among psilocybin mushroom varieties. It is a mutation of psilocybin cubanus that does not produce spores in the conventional way, making it distinctive and, for many cultivators, highly valued for its reportedly potent effects. The case has attracted enormous attention, and the response from the scientific community reflects a mix of genuine excitement and careful skepticism. Alzheimer's disease, despite being relentlessly progressive, can sometimes produce short-term fluctuations in function. A patient may have a good day that has nothing to do with intervention. The researchers acknowledge they cannot rule this out in a single case. But the breadth of the improvements spread across urinary continence, speech, ambulation, emotional expression, and social engagement makes coincidental fluctuation a less comfortable explanation. In other words, this wasn't just a coincidence. The researchers argue that the findings support the hypothesis that psilocybin may transiently facilitate functional reintegration of residual neural systems in neurodegenerative disease. Johns Hopkins University is currently running an open-label pilot study examining whether psilocybin, given under supportive conditions, is safe and effective for depression in people with mild cognitive impairment or early Alzheimer's disease. UCSF is conducting a study to understand changes in brain activity following psilocybin administration in older adults with low well-being, specifically examining how Alzheimer's disease biomarkers modulate the response. The formal science is following the signal. This is huge.
That is huge.
I honestly, we can discuss it later, but anybody who suffers from depression, no, don't take 5 grams of mushrooms for the love of Rod. But the microdoses, like a 1/4 gram, you can buy capsules of them, are fantastic for it.
Yeah.
They you get energy, not in a false way, not like in a Red Bull kind of way, but you do feel nice and up. Not in a manic, oh my God, everything's so wonderful. You don't really feel high per se. You just feel nice.
Up. Yeah.
Just not even
Nice little upper.
Just but I don't want it to be confused in that way. It's not, it's not speed, for goodness sake. You just feel nice.
Yeah.
And we're talking about a natural thing. This is not meth or ecstasy or coke. It grows. It's a plant.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are like, yeah, but it's illegal. It must be bad for you. It's amazing how many cops I know who, I absolutely thought marijuana was just, oh, that shit's wrong. Now that it's legal, they use it. Legality is not the difference between good and bad.
Right.
But as far as Alzheimer's treatment goes, this would be massive. Because it's bullshit. Alzheimer's is bullshit.
Yeah. I don't wish that upon my worst enemy. Honestly, it is such a bad disease. See so many people suffering from it. I can't.
Well, and the ones around them suffer too.
Yeah.
Like not being remembered. And,
like I can't even imagine what that must feel like.
Well, hopefully neither of us will have to.
I hope not.
With
I can walk into the kitchen and be like, "What am I doing in here? How did I get here?"
But I'm thinking
that's bad
too,
enough. Let alone everything.
Like about our parents.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm pretty sure I speak for you when we say we don't want our parents to get it.
No.
Anyway, I thought that was good news. Do you got something for us?
Yeah, I do.
Then I got a short one.
Okay. You ready?
Yeah, man.
Have you ever hitchhiked before?
I believe you've asked me this in the past. Yes, I have, not for an extremely long time. You don't see people doing it anymore.
You know what? Never mind, because that doesn't apply to this story. I meant to ask you that the last story.
Dumbass.
About hitchhiking.
Okay, I'm leaving that in there, though. People can make fun of you.
That's okay.
Do you have another question for me
No.
about this story?
No.
Okay.
All right. Well, I actually could ask you another question.
All right, lay it on me.
All right. Do you like to hike?
I certainly have done my share of hiking in my existence.
Yeah, like off the beaten path kind of hiking, or like
following a trail.
Following a trail at Laurel Creek or something.
No, I mean like the Bruce Trail, like up on Bruce Peninsula.
Yeah.
And high school, we did a 3-day camping trip where we hiked part of the trail.
Oh.
Yeah. There was mushrooms there.
Hey,
but yeah,
I don't judge.
Yeah. Have you ever hiked?
Yes, I used to with my ex when I lived out in BC.
All right.
And I remember hiking up. It was called Mount Baker, which is ironically enough because it's my maiden name.
Named after you.
And we went for a nice little hike, and we hiked up to the peak, and then we came back down, and we spent the night up there too, which I don't know if I would do that now. But anyways, so the next day we're coming back down. We took our time, and we had a nice picnic and all the things. And then we're like,
nice.
It's starting to get dark.
Yeah.
We should maybe, because we were kind of out around the creek river thing that goes through there.
Animals are coming.
And yep. And then you're like, oh, it's going to be a whole lot darker once we go back into the woods. I've never been so scared. Like,
Never?
I was holding on to his arm so tight.
I think you told me about that.
I might have talked about it on the pod.
I think you did, actually.
And just walking out of there, and I'm like, he's like, just keep looking at your feet. Just keep looking at your feet.
Why?
Because he knew if I were to see something, I would like freak out, and he's trying to be calm. And so anyway, I don't know how long we were walking for, but we finally got back to the car, got in the car, turned on the lights, and there were a couple wolves just hanging out.
Sweet.
Yeah, not really.
Well,
like terrifying.
So you were, it was like up a large hill, like mountain kind of thing.
Yes, yeah.
The nice thing about hiking in large hills and mountains is it's a lot quicker to come down than it is to go up.
Yes.
Right, because you can just let gravity do its thing.
Yeah. We were on like flat path by that point, right? Because we were hanging out at the water, just enjoying ourselves. And then we're like, oh, we should probably go.
Because that's actually
that was
pretty nice.
scary.
Because if he wanted to save himself, he could have let you see what was. You'd freak out, run into the woods, waving your arms and screaming, and the animals would have gone after you, and he could have gone
I know,
safely.
right? Who knew he turned out to be a big asshole?
Yeah,
But anyways.
that's still pretty solid.
Okay.
All right, go ahead.
Let's keep going.
Do it, please. Hurry.
A hiker survived for 26 days after disappearing off the Appalachian Trail and wrote desperate journal entries and text messages that only reached her family several years later, according to documents released by the Maine Warden Service. Geraldine Largay, known by her friends as Jerry, disappeared on July 22, 2013, after leaving the trail to relieve herself. She remained missing for over 2 years.
How far off the trail did she go?
I don't know. The only clear clue investigators had was a photo of her, taken early that morning she went missing. In a notebook entry dated August 6, 2013, 2 weeks after she lost her way, Largay made a desperate plea. When you find my body, please tell my husband George and my daughter Carrie, she wrote. It will be the greatest kindness for them to know that I am dead and where you found me. No matter how many years from now, please find it in your heart to mail the contents of this bag to one of them.
Oh, so that they wouldn't be left, like, not knowing forever.
Yes.
Okay, that's fair.
Largay's husband George was not far away on the morning she went missing. He had driven to the Route 27 crossing, about a 22-mile hike away from the shelter where his wife was last seen. Largay had committed to a through hike in the 2,168-mile trail and had already traversed more than 1,000 miles. Like many hikers, she took a trail name. Hers was Inchworm. Her husband met her along the trail for small reunions and resupplies. Largay, 66, was a retired Air Force nurse who had hiked long trails near her home in Tennessee, taken a course on doing the trail, and easily making friends on the trail.
Oh, she was prepared.
Yes. Hiking the Appalachian Trail and sleeping in tents and wearing the same stuff for 3 or 4 days in the rain, not on my bucket list, he said. But she needed to be supported on the hike because she had limits on what she could carry. So I simply had to say, okay, suck it up. What's 6 months in the grand scheme of things? So I did it. The documents show that Largay, 66, I don't know why they keep saying how old she is, tried to text her husband after she lost her way. At about 11 a.m. that day, she wrote, in some trouble, got off the trail to go to the bathroom, now lost. Can you call AMC, which I'm assuming is the rescue, whatever they are, to see if a trail maintainer can help me, somewhere north of Woods Road, XOX. The text never sent because of poor or non-existent cell service. Largay tried to find higher ground, the wardens wrote, and attempted to send the text 10 more times in the next hour and a half. She eventually camped down for the night. The next day, she tried the text again with an undelivered message at 4:18 p.m. Lost since yesterday. Off trail 3 or 4 miles. Call police for what you can do, please. XOX. By the next day, George Largay was concerned, and the official search began. Over the next few weeks, it expanded past the warden's service to include search aircraft, state police, national park rangers, and fire departments. They pursued hikers' tips, scoured side trails, and set dogs to searching, to no avail. Heavy rains that week obscured the trail, and Largay remained lost. The documents also show that close friends cast doubt on Largay's ability to hike alone. Her friend, Jane Lee, who had hiked much of the trail with Largay before a personal emergency called her away, told wardens that her friend sometimes struggled to keep up and had questionable skills with a compass. If you had to leave for a personal emergency, take your friend with you. You shouldn't be out hiking by yourself.
But maybe the other woman, the missing one's like, yeah, I'll be cool.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
In October 2015, a forester working for the U.S. Navy, which has property bordering the trail, found a possible body, according to the report. Lieutenant Kevin Adam later described his thinking that afternoon, writing, the possibilities were it was a human body, it was animal bones, or if it was a human body, was it Gary Largay? When he arrived at the site, his doubts evaporated. I saw a flattened tent with a green backpack outside of it and a human skull with what I believed to be sleeping bag around it.
Oh, wow.
I was 99% sure that this was Jerry Largay's. The campsite was difficult to see unless you were right next to it, Adam wrote. noting that the tent was under several large trees whose branches obstructed the sky. The site was in dense woods near the border of the Navy and public properties, and Largay had built a bedding area out of small trees, pine needles, and possibly some dirt in an attempt to keep her tent away from the water. Adam wrote, she also had tied a space blanket between branches to provide some cover. There was also evidence of lost opportunities, an open canopy nearby where she could have been seen from the sky, had her tent had been under it. Largay had also tried to set fires, Adam suggested, noting nearby trees, let's just start a wildfire, have been charred black, seemingly not from lightning but by human hands. In the camp, they found the basics for hiking: maps, a rain jacket, a space blanket, string, Ziploc bags, a flashlight that still worked, and small human reminders. A blue baseball cap, dental floss. You got to bring your dental floss when you're camping.
Yeah.
A homemade necklace with some white stone wrapped in string. They also found her notebook, moss growing around it, entitled "George, Please Read, XOXO." Entries explain that she had spent about 2 days wandering after a wrong turn across a stream, and that she had tried to find ridges where she could regain some sense of sense of place. The entries continued until August 18th, nearly a month after her disappearance, though Adam wrote, "We are unsure if this is the correct date or not." A medical examiner ruled that Largay had died of exposure, and in their most recent public statement, the family thanked the Warden Service for their dedication to this case.
Oh, she did die?
Yes.
Oh.
The camp was less than 2 miles from the Appalachian Trail. Adam wrote that walking south from the campsite, the dense forest became open woods with good visibility after 60 to 70 yards, and after another 25 minutes, he found a clear logging road that led to lodging. In total, the walk took about 30 minutes.
Oh, man.
So she was so close.
Yeah.
But yet so far.
Wonder what she died of, like if it was
I don't
exposure?
I don't know. Probably just exposure and
Hunger.
Yeah, that's too bad.
Yeah, that sucks.
And writing in a journal, I'd be like, please read my journal of my last days. That wouldn't be hard.
I was hoping she'd be found. I mean, found.
Well, she was found,
yeah,
but, yeah.
But still, it is quite right. Better to have closure.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like you could be lost out there for the rest of your life.
No,
but,
I know.
You know what I mean?
I know, but other than not knowing.
Yeah.
Right? I've always, it's pretty morbid, but I always said that if something happened to my kids and, like, they disappeared and I never, ever, ever knew what happened to them, that would kill me.
Of course, because part of your brain is going to be like, they might still be out there.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, and what they're going through or what's happening.
Right.
Like, I wouldn't be able to handle that.
Well, on the upside, Mel,
yes,
you almost certainly will not have to face that situation.
Right. Knock on wood.
That was me. Knock, knock, knock on wood. Okay. Would you like me to bring us on home with a wee tale?
Bring us on home.
All right. Do you like crows? The birds?
Well, no.
Why? Why not?
They're loud and obnoxious.
They're wonderful and intelligent animals.
Okay, go for it.
Okay,
I'm not a bird lover, though.
Don't piss off a crow.
I'm not going to piss off a crow.
You should be, and you definitely should be nice to crows.
Okay.
Here we go.
Tell me why.
I will tell you why. While there's just one crow flying above her now, Leah Wilson will never forget that day the sky was full of them.
Ew.
The crows were dive bombing over here, Leah says, pointing across the street, and circling this house. Leah was told a crow was stuck in the home's eaves trough, but nobody had a ladder long enough to save it. I was really distressed, she said, and I knew I had to do something about it. So after noticing a fire truck parked a couple blocks away, Leah raced over to the firefighters for help. I was like, "Hey, you look like you want to save a crow today," Leah recalls with a laugh. The firefighters agreed before raising their tall ladder and rescuing the crow. The firefighters were so gracious and wonderful, she says. My heart was so full. Then Leah drove the injured bird to the Wild Animal Rehabilitation Center. In her car, the pair connected. He latched onto my finger and held on, Leah says. That was life-changing. Leah didn't know how life-changing until a few days later when she was told the injured bird had been released back into the wild. I was going for a walk with my dog, Leah says. A crow flew down and dropped this beautiful feathered bundle at my feet. And it definitely didn't feel like a fluke. I was like, wow, this crow has given me a thank you gift. Since then, crows have left more than half a dozen items for Leah, from sticks to balls of moss to a smaller bird's nest. Leah, who's Métis, has received each one with gratitude. I grew up with understanding the importance of having a relationship with the natural world, Leah says. And now, whenever Leah and her dog go for a walk, all sorts of crows join them. It feels so good, Leah smiles as a few crows swoop near her along every block. It's like visiting my friends every morning and knowing they're going to be there. And that includes the crow she saved. There's the star of the show, Leah points to a crow she easily recognizes because he received a metal band on his leg after being rehabilitated. He's the highlight of my day. And thanks to the effort of the whole community, both the people and the birds, Leah points out, the crow appears to be thriving. When we are aware of what is happening around us, there is so much potential to come together and beautiful things can happen.
Aww.
Now, I have literally seen many cases of this, including like if you feed a crow, they remember human faces. That's been proven. They can actually mimic our voices.
Really?
Yep. They're very good at problem solving.
So do they like it when I go, caca?
Yeah,
No?
they just think you sound like an idiot.
Oh, okay. Just checking.
Yeah, because they're like, why is she trying to speak crow and badly? But they bring people stuff. There's a video of a guy who, I think it was in London, England. The crow flies in the window, opens a drawer, and then drops in like a 10-pound note, like 10-pound cash.
Oh, I was just going to say, teach it to bring me money. That'd be great.
And it does. He has done that.
That's hilarious.
Crow doesn't steal it from people, but if it sees it, if it finds it on the street, or they'll bring you little shiny things as gifts, as to say thank you.
Interesting.
Or there was that video of the little boy who's probably like 4 or 5, well, maybe not even. The crow, it's a wild crow, like it doesn't live in the house or anything, but it waits for him at the house to get dropped off by the school bus, and then goes with him towards the house, and he'll go outside and the crow will be there and land on a fence and let him pet it, and is a complete mate to the kid.
Interesting.
It's very cool, man. Birds are your friends. You got to be nicer. You got to be nicer to animals like birds and bees and stuff. Yeah, you do.
Good.
I'm telling you, they'll mess you up.
They leave me alone. I leave them alone.
Yeah, they leave you alone for now.
Yeah.
By the way, would you like to go visit a honey farm?
No.
Really?
No.
I'm going to try to arrange it.
Nope.
You can
Not
go
happening.
look in the hive.
Nope.
Speaking of looking in the hive,
Yeah.
do you have anything you'd like to say to our people?
Yeah. You should look in our hive at our Spotify list
personal.
and like give us some 5 stars in there or something.
5 rhymes with hive.
Yes.
Okay?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
But
you
yeah,
should.
check
And
us
you
out.
should like give us reviews.
Yes.
Comment.
All those things.
Tell peoples.
Yeah.
You know? Think of it as your civic duty.
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
Yeah, right. So now we are really
Yes.
gonna go to Piper's.
Yes.
Because God, am I hungry.
I am too.
Oh, I'm telling you. So be well, everyone. Take good care. Again, if you're somewhere hot, stay cool. If you're somewhere cold, stay warm. And be well fed and happy. So until next time, you all take good care of yourselves and one another.
Bye.
A biento. Bye.
The Absurd Podcast is written, produced, and recorded by Rod and Mal. Music by Audionautics.com.